All right, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I guess we're here. I guess it's working. Let me get this started. All right. Now, the question is, is anybody watching? Oh, man, apparently not. Finally, it looks like I got the some of the settings set right, but I guess we'll get into it. This is crazy. I don't know if this is this is crazy. Anyway, I got a fun, interesting monologue, but as far as I can tell, there's not a single person here. What's going on with that? Not a single person? Did I? It's public. What the heck? It says I'm live. Okay, well, it doesn't say anybody's here. So if you hear, say what's up. Okay, well, I don't know. Oh, man. And, oh, there we go. Now I can see the chat. Wow, what did I do? It's so big. I made this so big I can't read it. Hey, everybody. All right, well, let's get going. Hey, another day, another failed way to start, but it looks like the picture's pretty clear. Maybe. I can't tell. Oh, if only any of these mice worked. Shit. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just assume we'll go forward anyway. Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not frustrating at all, is it? No. But welcome to the circus that we call American politics. Hope you're all recovering from the Groundhog Day festivities. Yeah, you know, Puxatawny Phil popped his head out, saw his shadow, and predicted an early spring. But I got to tell you, folks, that's nothing compared to the shadow games our politicians and institutions are playing. I watched the news the other day and it hit me. The government is using Groundhog's Day as the ultimate distraction. While we're all waiting to see if Phil has a meteorological revelation, they're busy crafting their own narrative like a magician's sleight of hand. But instead of pulling a rabbit out of the hat, they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. Department of Labor, they're the real groundhogs of the bunch. They came out with job numbers that are more inflated than the Beagle Scout Snoopy parade balloon at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Unemployment's down, they say. More people are working than ever, they claim. It's a regular jobs bonanza. I haven't seen this numbers this creative since the reviews on Amy Schumer's last special. And it's not just jobs, folks. Every state agency is in on the act. The Department of Education, they're boasting about how our kids are geniuses, testing off the charts. Here in Oregon, they dropped all required tests for graduation, and surprise, surprise, graduation rates are up. But here's the kicker, folks. It's all grand plan to sway the vote in November. Politicians want us to believe that the current administration is doing such a stellar job. The economy is stronger than ever. We should all just keep on sipping that grape flavor aid. So, as we bask in the glow of the early spring predicted by Puxatawny Phil, let's not forget to peek behind the curtain of political theatrics. Because just like Phil's shadow, the government's promise might be fleeting, leaving us in the cold while they celebrate another 4 years of fooling the American people. Happy Groundhog Day, everyone. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. Best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Flame on. Okay. Well, that's a pretty picture. Of course, let's see if we can get that. There we go. Tom Coffee, blah, blah. Add coffee nuance, but it looks pretty clear. Is it clear? But it's groundhogs all day long. Now that's what I wanted to talk about. Now I don't know why this is so freaking big. And, oh man, something's not right there. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, right now, I'm only streaming on YouTube, but I think the picture is better. I think I fixed that part of it. I tried doing some streaming to Rumble today, and for whatever reason, I couldn't get the picture to work over there at all. At all. Although it was working last night. I don't know. It's one thing after another, but this picture looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. I can't tell. I can't tell anything. What's what's the chat say? Okay. Not much. All right. Anyway, yeah, so they came out with some jobs numbers yesterday, and pretty ridiculous. I don't think, we hear about all of these layoffs, all these companies laying people off, but for whatever reason, jobs came in at like a couple 100,000 more than what were predicted. This doesn't seem right. I tried looking into the numbers. Actually, hours went down. So the average hours a week someone worked went down, but somehow the job numbers went up overall. I don't know. This doesn't seem real to me. To me, this seems like, I don't know, shenanigans. Shenanigans, that's what I'm calling. So we can run lots of stories. Corporate media can run lots of stories about how great the economy is. It's just trust us. Don't trust what you see with your own eyes. That's kind of my take on it. But yeah, I can't even. Sharp video, smooth, much better than lately. Chiron, well, I just did a different, I got this one and that one. So, yeah, but it's a different font. This font I kind of like for this Chiron. I am glad that the picture looks better. I'm actually streaming on a different computer. The shocking thing is this other computer has less RAM and a smaller processor than the one I was using before, but it seems to be working a whole lot better. So I don't know. I don't understand this stuff, but I guess it doesn't matter if it works, right? Next up, we'll figure out how to go live on both Rumble and YouTube at the same time. Still working on that. But yeah, we got some news to get to today, so let's get to it, shall we? Now this is shocking here. House Democrats, who often criticize Republicans for alleged attacks on Social Security, faced criticism as 75% of them voted against deporting migrants involved in Social Security fraud. The vote, H.R. 6678, introduced by Rep. Tom McClintock, saw 172 yay votes, with all 155 nay votes coming from Democrats, including 55 who sided with Republicans. This prompted criticism, highlighting Democrats prioritizing protecting illegal aliens over seniors. Additionally, 150 Democrats opposed H.R. 6976, the Protect Our Communities from DUIs Act, which aims to address loopholes in immigration law related to drunk driving offenses by creating grounds for inadmissibility and removability. A move that would shock no one. Representative Rashida Tlaib argued that the bill would establish a separate but unequal justice system for illegal immigrants. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I don't know why I'm all the way on the left side of the screen. Anyway. But if we look up here, this is actually from Ground News. I guess I can scoot over here. Yeah. This is from Ground News. And this is the news reports that are covering this story. And if you notice, it's all right-wing news sites. There's not a single news site on the left that is covering this story. And you may think, oh, you know what, Tom, maybe this was a bill that, you know, it was named something, but, you know, there's a lot of details in it, and that's why they voted against it. No, the bill is only 2 pages long. You can read it for yourself. I read it myself. Essentially, it says that if you are in the United States illegally and you are convicted of Social Security fraud, that would be grounds for deportation. That's it. You can read the bill yourself. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to think anymore. You know, I went most of my life thinking that people in government were trying to make things better for American citizens, but I don't know anything anymore. I'm looking for an explanation as to why anyone has a problem with this. You're in the country. You don't have the legal right to be here. Technically, you're waiting on, you know, an asylum hearing or something. You're convicted of Social Security fraud. And the Democrats are voting to make sure that these people aren't deported. Well, the thing is, we know that no one is ever going to ask them. We know that no corporate media will ask any of these politicians why they support this. We can see in the little graphic here, only right-wing sites are talking about this. Not a single middle-of-the-road site is even mentioning this story. So it's as if it doesn't exist. And I guess Democrats can do this since they know that the entire corporate media, the entire mainstream corporate media, will protect them and not cover this story at all. I don't know what to think. I really don't. You know, I like to try to be, you know, nuanced and give context. I read the bill. You can read the bill yourself. I will leave a link in the description, or not the description. I'll leave it in the comments. I'll leave a link. You can check it out yourself. Yeah, I don't get it. So, if you do, let me know. But otherwise, I guess we'll get on to the next story. Here we go. The Oregon Supreme Court ruled that most Republican state senators, including Senator Minority Leader Tim Knopp, cannot run for re-election due to repeated boycotts of legislative sessions. This follows voter approval to ban such walkouts, leading to a constitutional amendment in 2022. The senators challenged the rule, but the court upheld it, signifying a shift in power as Democrats gain control. This decision has implications for the upcoming legislative session and the state's political landscape. This is an update. I've talked about this story before on this channel. It really bothers me that I'm over on the side, but I don't know what am I going to do, right? So essentially in Oregon, we've got these voter initiatives. And the voter initiatives don't have to be legal. The voter initiatives, they're never like checked to see if they're constitutional or anything like that. We just pass things. And this one passed, and it was worded terribly. And essentially, the gist of it was that if you have 10 unexcused absences in the legislature, you may not run for office again. However, the way that it was worded was terrible. And anybody could have pointed this out. People did point it out. I pointed it out. But essentially what it said is, hey, if you have 10 absences, you're not eligible for the election after, you're not allowed, you're not allowed to run for office after your term expires. Okay? Well, the thing is, you run for your next term before your term expires, right? Okay, so I believe what happened is the Republicans looked at this and they said, well, these idiot Democrats, they worded this thing wrong. And we can still run for re-election. We just can't run for re-election after we're out of office. So they had some strategic absences because they didn't want to have to vote on some very contentious legislation. So this has been going on for years here in Oregon. This is what they do. The Democrats, or let's just say one party comes up with something kind of absurd, or that many would find it absurd, and they don't want to participate in it, and so they don't show up for the vote. And if enough people don't show up for the vote, then it can't go through. And that's what was happening this time. However, now not all, but many, many, many Republicans had enough absences that, according to this voter initiative bill, they wouldn't be allowed to run. But the Republicans are like, wait a minute, that's not the phrasing of it, okay? The phrasing of it is we're not able to run after we're done with, after our term is over. But we should be allowed to run for office while we're still in office, because that's the wording of it. Well, it went to the court here in Oregon, and surprise, surprise, the Democrat court in Oregon decided that, well, it doesn't really matter what the words were. We know what it meant. And if you went against what it meant, what we, kind of what the voters thought it meant, then it doesn't really matter what was literally written in the bill. This is, well, I will say, Republicans, you fell for a trap. This was a very clever trick by the Democrats, and I can't read minds, but I can just imagine, hey, let's write this thing in such a way that it's really ambiguous. Republicans will know that, oh, this will never pass. This won't work. So they break the rules of it, and then we'll get one of our judges to say, no, it doesn't really matter what was, literally written. This is craziness. This is absolute craziness. When I heard about this, when I reported on this on the channel last couple months ago, I said, there's no way. There's no way that they're going to not be allowed to rerun, because it's black and white in the bill what it says. It says that you can't run after your term expires. So that should mean that you're able to run for office while you're still in office. I said, there's no way that, and I was wrong. I didn't think that the judges in Oregon, that the Oregon State Supreme Court, would be that political that they would ignore words. they would ignore what was written in black and white. Like, this is really shocking to me. Again, this is something that probably won't be covered in our press here in Oregon at all. So that's how you do it. That's how you control everything. Is you just have collaborators in the corporate media. Anyway, is there anything positive we can get to? Is there anything positive? Probably not. And of course, for me to trigger this, I'd actually have to have a mouse that works. There we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. President Biden faced criticism for invoking his son's death while consoling the parents of a soldier killed in a drone strike. The president, while informing the parents about their daughter's posthumous promotion, brought the conversation back to his son's deployment and death. The repeated use of personal tragedy has been questioned for its inappropriateness and inconsistency in Biden's statements. Critics argue that such references may not be the most suitable way to address military-related incidents. In the call, Biden said his son, quote, "spent a year in Iraq, and that's how I lost him." Both spent 7 months in Iraq and passed away over 6 years later. Yeah. So I don't know. I can't read, this guy's mind. But, you can actually watch him. They did video the call that he made to the grieving mother. And he literally said, "My son was in Iraq for a year. That's how I lost him." Now, Beau Biden, it was one of these pits that they burn lots of, burn pit or whatever that he was at. And then he got cancer from things in the pit, and he died over 6 years later. But boy, if you were to listen to the call, it sounds like he was killed in Iraq. But if you go to any of the fact-checking websites, this is not talked about at all, but, they'll... I don't know. I'm getting tired of this. Anyway, let's get to another story. So, former CIA software engineer Joshua Adam Schulte, convicted of the agency's largest data breach, received a 40-year prison sentence. He transmitted stolen information to WikiLeaks, leading to one of the biggest unauthorized disclosures of classified data in the U.S. Schulte faced charges including espionage, computer hacking, contempt of court, false statements, and child pornography. The leaks, named Vault 7 and Vault 8, damaged national security, with the impact compared to Edward Snowden's breach. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams called Schulte's crimes among the most brazen in American history, causing severe harm. Well, this is an interesting story. It was Vault 7 and Vault 8, but Vault 7 was the big one. And what exactly was in this Vault 7 dump? Well, it was exposing the world, letting American citizens know how the CIA, what their techniques were. And this included things like, turning on people's smart TVs, using them as a microphone so that they could illegally listen in on people through smart TVs. That's one of the things. On their phones and whatnot, just listening illegally. Now, before this, anyone that said, I think the government can listen to me through my smart TV. I think that they can just remotely access the microphone on my smart TV and turn it on and listen to me. And anybody that said something like that, that's a conspiracy theory. Oh, you're crazy. They would never do such a thing. Well, This was one of their techniques. This was exposed in the Vault 7 dump to WikiLeaks. That's what happened. Yes, they can and they do use that technique. Now, there were lots of techniques that were exposed. I was just giving you one example. But, yeah, you got 40 years for it. And probably to this day, I think most people would call you a nut if you stated that the CIA could do this, even though it's all been disclosed. That not only can they, that they do listen to people through their smart TVs. Yeah. So, anyway, probably won't hear about this one on CNN either. So, anyway, let's get to the last bit of news today. Okay. Hulu and Disney are cracking down on password sharing, requiring subscribers to stop sharing outside their households by March 14th. The move aligns with Disney's goal to boost profits and follows Netflix's successful strategy. The crackdown may risk user dissatisfaction, but aims to increase profitability for Disney's streaming services, especially Hulu. Disney is also set to unveil a combined Hulu Disney Plus app. So, Netflix did this. I am a victim of this, right? And it's interesting. I am not allowed. One thing that with the Netflix app is they check your IP of location where you are, and so you can only be using one TV from one IP. They register that IP as your house. And then you may not use that elsewhere. Yeah. Well, it worked for Netflix, and now Hulu and Disney are following suit. So this is yet another reason to dump these services, in my opinion. There are lots of ways to get entertainment. And the thing is that we're not always in our house, right? And if you go on vacation, there are ways to go through and jump through a bunch of hoops so that you can use your laptop if you're in a different location, right? With Netflix, that's the case. So with your laptop, you can then double check and you can say, yes, I'm on vacation, and they will give your laptop a pass for like 30 days. But if you're on vacation, let's say you go on vacation, and I got a smart TV there, and you just want to use that smart TV, no. You can use it on your laptop, but don't think that you can use a big, big TV for it. I think that this is going to turn a lot of people off, and I believe that there will probably be an increase in people looking how to find alternative methods for entertainment. That's just my take. Anyway, the good news of the day. What is the good news of the day? You know what? I'll tell you the good news of the day in the after show. Anyway, it is my plan, providing I can get this working, to do Midnight Americano tonight for all, I don't know, one person that's watching this show. On both YouTube and on Rumble. We'll see if it works. I'm trying. I am happy. But anyway, let's hope you all have a great weekend. Till next week. Peace. All right. Well, what's up, Natasha? What's up, Erie Fairy? Guess that's all we got today. Man, kind of a dead show. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. But yeah, we are in clown world. That's kind of what I think. Yeah, the thing that happened here in Oregon is, I don't know, everything is in equity thing. It sounds ridiculous, but they literally said that the graduation test, the state test that makes sure that you're, I don't know, that you can read at like a fourth grade level or something ridiculous like that. I think the test is very easy, but it disproportionately affected certain students. And for equity's sake, anything that may affect one group more than another one has to be done away with. And so in Oregon, they just canceled all the requirements. All the requirements. There's no testing at all to graduate. So, shockingly, test scores are up. And now the local media, for the most part, the local corporate media just does stories about how great our governor is because our test scores are up. And our graduation rates are higher. Graduation rates are higher. So, yeah. I don't believe any of the job numbers at all. I don't buy it at all. And you're like, well, Tom, where's your data? And I'm like, well, look at the data that's there. It's all of these corporations have announced big layoffs, tens of thousands of layoffs, but somehow jobs have gone up like 300 and something thousand this month or January. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. But anyway, I am happy that the stream has been excellent quality. I have 0 dropped frames, and it's in 1080p. So it's in high quality. There were no dropped frames at all. And so that's great. So all I needed to do was use a computer that was not as fast with not as much RAM. I don't understand. But it worked, at least for YouTube today. I will be putting this out. I guess I'll try putting this out on Rumble. And I will try to do Midnight Americano tonight. My plan is to do both on Rumble and YouTube. However, before I was testing this morning my Rumble, and I couldn't get a picture to go through. I could get the audio to go through, but for whatever reason, the picture I couldn't get to work. So I'm still working on that. But we'll keep plugging away. But we did make some improvements. The stream is actually not buffering, and the picture looks great. So I'm really happy with that. Hey Doug, it's okay that you're late. We're just about done. Today I was only able to go live on YouTube, but we'll keep working on it. But I'm really pleased with the picture. I'm really pleased with the picture. What is funny, this is funny, is on my computers, for whatever reason, they automatically, and this was something that I was trying to figure out, what was, like, why does it look so bad? Automatically, they were putting it at 360p and not at 1080. And so I was, I'm testing this, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, it looks like garbage. but it turns out it was, I don't know. I don't know. I need a teenager. That's what I need. I need a teenager here that can help me do this stuff. Anyway, that's all I have. I'll try to do the show tonight, and I am actually super pumped that I was able to stream on my laptop, because I will be taking my laptop with me to Argentina, and so that means that I'll be able to stream from down there. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm not going to start over, Doug, but you can just move back, or as soon as the stream is over, just hit refresh, and you can watch from the beginning. Anyway, hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Until then, peace.